Twitch case reopened. Shocking new allegations emerge against Allison Holker, Ellen DeGeneres, and Diddy. Nearly 3 years after the tragic and unexpected death of Stephen Twitch Boss, authorities have reportedly reopened his case due to new inconsistencies uncovered during a reinvestigation. According to emerging claims, Twitch may not have died by suicide as originally believed, and disturbing allegations now suggest he may have been intentionally unalived. Allison Holker under scrutiny. At the center of the renewed investigation is Twitch's widow, Allison Holker. Investigators reportedly discovered behavior that raised suspicion shortly after his death, particularly her swift move to access and control his financial assets. Court documents revealed that within weeks of his passing, Holker filed a petition to claim half of his estate, stating that he had little to no net worth prior to their marriage, and that she had played a major role in building his wealth. However, things took an even darker turn when sources claimed Holker had worked with two high-profile celebrities, Ellen DeGeneres and Sean Diddy Combs, to not only cover up Twitch's death, but also to silence her in exchange for a reported multi-million-dollar payout. To make matters worse, Holker allegedly tried to shift the narrative months before the investigation reopened by claiming Twitch struggled with substance abuse. In her book This Far, Holker described finding mushrooms, pills, and other substances hidden in his shoeboxes while preparing for his funeral. She also publicly revealed deeply personal and painful details from his past, including childhood trauma, that Twitch had never discussed publicly, reportedly because he didn't want his...
There was a moment when his
exploited. Family, friends, and fans were outraged by these revelations, accusing Holker of trying to tarnish Twitch's legacy for personal gain and book sales. Her timing and tone led many to believe she was more concerned with profiting from his passing than honoring his memory. Aside from seeking financial control, Holker was reportedly planning to relocate to another city just 2 months after Twitch's death, further intensifying public suspicion. Critics found this behavior cold and calculated, especially as she continued to pursue more royalties from his investments and film projects. Ellen DeGeneres, once very close to Twitch both personally and professionally, has also come under scrutiny. Online investigators and internet sleuths began connecting dots that allegedly hinted at her involvement. Some reports even suggest that she and Diddy may have collaborated in some form with Holker to suppress the truth surrounding Twitch's death. Ellen's past close relationship with Diddy has only fueled these speculations. Word on the street is that Allison Holker wasn't just a grieving widow. She allegedly had deep ties to the very industry circles now under
Ellen,
fire.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
According to online rumors, she was invited to every single one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, wild, exclusive gatherings whispered about in Hollywood for years. In return for these opportunities and increased visibility in the entertainment industry, it said she helped recruit others to attend. Allegedly, one of the people she tried to bring into that world was none other than her husband, Twitch. And that's when things get even murkier. That Ellen and Diddy interview slip-up fans began connecting dots after spotting an episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, where Diddy made a bold, thinly veiled reference to these parties. Surprisingly, Ellen didn't react with confusion instead. She seemed to recognize exactly what he meant. At one point, she even acknowledged knowing about the parties, but quickly backtracked, saying she only knew of them because Diddy rapped about them in his music. Needless to say, many weren't buying that.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seen me show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early? I could make that. But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
into Ellen's history, another chilling coincidence resurfaced. The tragic death of her ex-girlfriend, actress Anne Heche. Anne died on August 11, 2022, almost exactly 4 months before Twitch was found dead. The timing raised eyebrows, especially given what Anne had revealed shortly before her passing. In a podcast recorded just weeks before her death, Anne Heche claimed that she was the one who broke up with Ellen, not the other way around. Her reason? She said Ellen had become consumed by the industry and obsessed with wealth. According to Anne, "I broke up with her because her goal was to have a lot of money. Mine was to find love. Hers was, I want $60 billion. Good luck. Our forks are never going to meet. The further we stay on this path, the further we'll be apart." But that wasn't all. Anne also
that I spoke, I was hit more, buried more, or despised more, and then had calculated visions and circulations of systems that spun me up and out of the system that would in any way challenge the fact that she was not telling her own truth, but another's. Why do you think she tried to put me in an institution, folks? I called my mother. Guess what? 2 people who wanted more than anything to have my truth buried. It was not my timing. I did not and cannot ask God for what that would be. All I could do was stay on my truth, do what I was doing, and study this thing called love that we tried to bury, and now I am up and out of the ground. And unfortunately, those 2 women could not shut me down.
Also accused Ellen of trying to have her institutionalized and of actively working to destroy her career after the breakup. Days after making these claims public, Anne was involved in a fiery car crash that ultimately claimed her life. She suffered severe burns after being trapped in her burning car for over 30 minutes. A toxicology report later revealed no active substances in her system at the time of the crash, only traces of past use. The streets couldn't help but talk. Was Twitch silenced? More shocking allegations against Allison Holker and Hollywood power players as more details come to light. Speculation continues to swirl around the tragic death of Stephen "Twitch" Boss. Some now wonder whether his death, the suspicious circumstances surrounding Anne Heche's fatal crash, and Ellen DeGeneres' rumored behind-the-scenes influence might all be part of something far more sinister. While no official evidence links Ellen to any criminal activity, the court of public opinion is growing increasingly suspicious. At the center of it all is Allison Holker, Twitch's widow, and now the subject of major backlash following the release of her tell-all book, which some say is nothing more than a smear campaign against her late husband. Family members speak out. Tensions boiled over when one of Twitch's cousins took to social media to slam Allison for attempting to destroy his image.
Had dealt with an ex that had to
For a person to be married to somebody and then that person supposedly find a shoebox, disclose the contents of the shoebox with the entire world, then read that your loving husband's journal, private personal journal, and then share the contents of that with the world, it's very difficult to believe that you have any interest in protecting his legacy. And you like what you see in the mirror? A liar, a narcissist. You leverage Stephen's death to elevate yourself.